That's the sharpest knife I own, so that's scary to do. Hello, everybody! Breach of Peace is available right now on audiobook on Audible. And in the next couple of days, it'll actually be available on iTunes and I believe Apple Audio, whatever they call it, as well. The audiobook service I use for distribution didn't let me control the exact date it was going to be released, so it's out early. And instead of freaking out about it, I decided to just roll with it and go, hey, if you want to listen to it, go right ahead. And why not celebrate this release with also including the retail sample available in this video? So if you would like to listen to the first few minutes of Breach of Peace before you go ahead and make your lovely purchase, that will begin in this video and you can check it on out. So yes, links right down below. You can hear Michael, Kramer, and Kate Redding do an absolutely fantastic job of narrating my book. Fun trivia fact, since the audiobook was completed to the final version of the book for publication, a couple of lines have been changed. So if you end up with a physical and ebook copy and then listen to the audiobook, you could probably see a couple slight differences because, you know, there were just mild things that needed a fixin', and that's how the publication process goes. But anyway, yes, go ahead and check out Breach of Peace. It's going to be on these platforms. I'll keep the links down below updated in the next couple of days for when it's finally released on the other ones as well. But for now, here, enjoy the retail sample of Breach of Peace, and have a good one, y'all. Peace. Before you listen to the retail sample, though, I feel the need to add a disclaimer. It begins with a gory crime scene, so proceed with caution, and only if you would like to listen to a retail sample that covers, you know, a gory crime scene. But if you're already left and you just want to go pick up the audiobook, that'd be awesome. So, love you.
The crime. The scene at the front door was seared into Chlyd's mind. A child, hanging by a chain from the second-story window, his swollen, bloody face confronting her as she approached the manor. Protocol was to leave the location of a crime untainted for as long as possible. Chlyd had nonetheless ordered a beat cop to remove the horrid sight. The boy, no older than 10, deserved his dignity, but the chain was thick, and the officer was still sawing away. Now Chlyd stood before the servants of the manor, assembled in stunned silence. "We won't rest until the truth comes to light. God bless." "God bless," the staff echoed, some through tears. Chlyd turned to Rollins, standing behind her, reached into her coat pocket, and pulled out her notebook. "Have we counted the dead?" "At least 7, ma'am. Still checking all the rooms," Rollins said. The reed-like sergeant was the best the 7th Precinct had to offer. His age had slowed him down, but he still managed a crime scene better than most. "We are checking the surrounding grounds for anything out of the ordinary. Inspector Chapman is already inside the house, making his analysis." "Chapman gets first look." The next question hurt to ask. "Did we find what was missing of the boy?" Rollins inhaled slowly before responding. "No, ma'am." Chlyd walked to the house, her head down in thought. Rollins followed close behind. The morning air was wet and cold. The downpour from the night before had evaporated. Now all that remained was the mud and fog. Chlyd's feet squished along the ground. Considering the manor's distance from the city, Chlyd expected to hear morning birdsong or country hounds barking to protest their disturbed routine. Instead, the land itself seemed to hold its breath, as if haunted by the events from the night before. Against the silent backdrop, the rumble of carriage wheels announced the arrival of more officers to protect the scene. "How much information do we have on the family?" she asked Rollins, averting her gaze from the front door. The sergeant pulled out a notepad. "What do you already know, ma'am?" Chlyd thought back to the report she had read in the carriage ride over. Pruitt family. Loyalist to their core. Perfect record on paper. The head of the family, Charles, made his money in manufacturing. mostly providing for the war effort. Providing what? Steel. Rollins coughed. Chlyd realized she was taking a drag from a cigarette she did not remember lighting. The damned things had become as natural as walking. Rollins had made it well known he hated their acrid smell. "Completely right, ma'am." Rollins turned a page. "2 daughters and one, He glanced at the house. 1 son. The matriarch, Murray Pruitt, oversaw the import of countless cultural goods to the capital city from across the empire. Of note, she was recently responsible for acquiring the royal stones of Juridia." "Fascinating," Chlyd said with mock interest. The southern nation of Juridia had come under imperial rule about 5 years ago. Many of their royal artifacts had been taken to be displayed in the Museum of Kingdoms. Were they socialites? Rollins lifted his gaze from his notes. "Ma'am? How often did they go to those royal parties in the city? You know, the shit rich people live for." "We don't know that yet, ma'am." Chlyd snatched the notebook from Rollins's hand. She wrote down 3 addresses, then handed it back. "Find their address book. If any of those are in there, let me know." "Yes, ma'am." And Rollins, "Yes?" Chlyd indicated her cigarette. "I'm sorry.